Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James, aka Furry K. Welcome to today's video, and in today's video, this is kind of gonna be off the cuff one. I just released a video talking about the new stuff I was gonna be announcing. This isn't gonna be one of that. No, this is gonna be something different. This is gonna be an off the cuff video about me, and it's gonna be why I believe my relationship with the furry fandom is a sort of love-hate relationship with it. Now, okay, so my love for the fandom is I love that there's people in this fandom that love each other and know how to be accepting, know how to care, and just is an immense family to me, and I love the furry fandom oh so much. But I'm also going to be listing off the reasons why this fandom can kind of be a hate fandom. Now, I'm not saying that I hate this fandom at all. I love this fandom, to be honest with you. It's one of the, I think, the closest relationship to friends I have is the furry fandom. And so this is going to kind of be a personal video of how the furry fandom kind of saved me as a person. I would first start off by saying thank you to the fandom for saving me from who I was. And let's get into that story. The year was around, I want to say 2013, 2014, when I first got into the fandom. Now, at the time, I was going through my punk rock phase. And if you guys don't know that kind of phase, it's listening to stuff like Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, Bring Me the Horizon, stuff like that. Kind of like all the Warped Tour stuff. I was in that phase of being basically gothic. No, I wouldn't say gothic, more punky type person. Now, at this time, I was also discovering myself a little bit. And so, at this time, I had never heard of the furry fandom. I think around the years of 2014, 2015 was around that time, too, when I was first getting into the fandom. In 2013, I was a really shy kid. I really did not have many friends. I think I only had like one, and she was an ex. Now people are gonna be like, oh my god, you're friends with your ex, you know, stuff like that. She's a nice girl. She was very much like a second family to me. She was very caring. Her sister as well was very caring. They took care of me. They protected me, just like my family does. And this is where the story gets really into some personal crap. In around 2013, 2014, I discovered myself really orientally, I should say. Give me a minute. Trying to keep it together here. I started talking to people online. It was kind of like chat rooms, stuff like that, and found out I was into guys. And so around that time, I was very shy and didn't really know how to be social. I was very out. I didn't get into myself really that much because I couldn't understand. And so at that time, I just was talking to random guys. I was trying to be very out there, but couldn't do it. Then in 2014, I was chatting online with a guy. I don't remember his name. I don't want to say his name because his name personally would hit me in my heart, and I don't want to get into that story because that story did not end well from him, and I don't know if he is with us or anymore or not, which wouldn't surprise me if he was, but he was kind of very clingy, I would say. God help me if he's still alive with us, and if he had committed suicide, God will help us, but he's in a better place. Now, this time, I was trying to find myself after the breakup, thinking that he was rather either alive or dead. I don't know if he was or not. But after that, I was really trying to be myself. I was trying to find people to really hook into and, hang out with. Then I noticed my friend, who was my ex, again, weird, still won't get over that. I was friends with my ex. She mentioned something called furries. Now, this time, it was not a weird concept to me. It was kind of very strange. I was still going through my punk rock phase where I was into stuff like vampires, werewolves, all this stuff. I was starting to get into my more of creating stories, stuff like that, which, yeah. I don't know how to really explain it. I was really into that stuff. I still am into creating stories, and I am writing stories every day. When something pops in my head, I'll start to write it down or create a book out of it. It won't last long because usually I end up deleting it because I don't like it. And so, with that being said, let's get into the story of how I became a furry. Back in 2015, when I became a furry for the first time, that's when I wrote Stuck in the Furry World, which, I don't know, it was a strange time for me, really. Stuck in the Furry World was one of the first stories that I actually got popularized with when I wrote it, and it was something that just hit me. It was like, I'm in the furry fandom, I might as well write something close to my heart. And so when I wrote Stuck in the Furry World, which I wrote twice, I wrote different, like, characters and stuff like that from memory of design. They were both great stories, and I did try to write a sequel to after I wrote Stuck in the Furry World again, but it didn't last long. Again, I did not like those stories, so I just got rid of them. So after finishing Stuck in the Furry World, I was happy with myself. I got more into the fandom. I enjoyed the fandom. But this is where we're going to hit a speed bump, okay? But I think that's going to be more of a second-parter story. Again, the reason I hate the fandom also is something I'm going to hit on. The reason I hate the fandom is because of the amount of dislike people will have towards each other. While it's supposed to be a fandom about love, it's more become a fandom nowadays of just destroying each other, okay? After what happened with Kiro, the wolf, and what happened with people like Jason Effects because they had a certain political ideology. Now, I'm not going to hit on that because that's something that I don't think I need to get into, and that's something I don't know about. I'm not going to hit on that because I don't have all the information on Jason Effects side of things. While I do have a good handling on the Kiro situation, which will probably be for a different video, because I'll have to gather information, I'll have to watch videos, because there's a whole bunch of his friends who knows the whole story, that they've talked about it. Basically, there's a whole bunch of what we would call tea throughout the fandom that so many people try to destroy each other with. I've actually talked to YouTubers who one YouTuber in particular, we had a conversation which didn't go any further of we had a civil conversation about it because he made a whole, I think it was like, what is it, an hour-long story. He made an hour-long like argument about the fandom, how much he hated it, and how he saw the fandom as just a bunch of deviants, which he can make it. I will give him that one, because I'm a civil person. I will have a conversation with people about stuff. I will have a conversation about it. I'm a nice person. I will have a civil conversation with you if, you know, if things are right and everything like that. And I mean, me and the guy had a civil conversation. I didn't hear back from him again, which I would have loved to sit down and have a conversation if we met in real life about it. Which he seemed like a nice guy, so he didn't come off as a dick to me. In the video, he kind of come like a dick, but that's only because I took it personally, and I'm trying to teach myself to, because I'm getting older, I'm trying to teach myself to not use emotions to get in the way, like any other good person should. You shouldn't. I've been taught that if you let emotions cloud your feelings, or if you let emotions cloud your judgment, then you make the wrong judgment call. I learned that when I was doing debate study in English. I was part of my studies in my E2020 subjects before I completed E2020 on my regular days. Now, the guy didn't seem like a dick. He was a great guy. I don't remember his name. He didn't give me his name, so I don't. But I'm not gonna give his YouTube channel out because that was my first conversation I ever had with guys. So I don't. If he wants to hit me up DMs, he can hit me up and say, "Hey, can we have a conversation about this?" Hit me up at Deadly Tracker. At Deadly Tracker, you can hit me up on that, and I will appreciate DMs. Which you'll probably never see this video because my videos are low and low and low. So the Kiro situation will be a different video. It'll probably be the second video to go up. I will probably make something on the Kiro situation tomorrow because I actually want to hit that story the first time. And that'll be something hardcore that I want to put up. It's just a test video. Now, that's a dark subject to hit on for a first video. But I'm fine with it, you know? So tea that gets spilled in the fandom is always something that happens with like popufurs and stuff like that. Now, I don't like the word popufurs. I mean, just say you're popular. I mean, because then that's kind of a weird thing to say. Now, I do have to agree with the guy, because the guy who made the video about Kira the Wolf and the rant thing or whatever about the fandom, he even said that the popufur thing is stupid and not cool. Which I have to agree with the guy there, because popufur just makes you sound like you're an idiot. Which fandom's gonna roast me over that one, but I don't give a shit. Let's see else. Now, let's see. What else can I say? With the hatred that's in the fandom now, more nowadays than ever, I think that the fandom is more of a bubble than it is a fandom. Because if you look at other fandoms, they are not as toxic as the furry fandom. The furry fandom is more toxic than, say, like Undertale. Undertale, yes, there's a whole bunch of porn and stuff like that. It's not as toxic as, say, like the furry fandom, which turns out people because they have a different ideology than you. I mean, there have been people who have left the fandom because of that. You know? There's people that, I've had YouTubers who have left the fandom because, like, I don't know. It's just, I find it harder and harder each day to be in the fandom, but I also find more and more days to stay in the fandom. Because there's a lot of nice people in the fandom. I've met a lot of nice people in the fandom. I've seen a lot of nice people in the fandom. I've never gotten to meet them in real life, but I have met them online and stuff like that. I've wanted to go to furry conventions. Now, that's where another interesting story comes in. Because, okay. So my parents finding out that I was into that. Okay, I'm not gonna roast my mom about it because my mom is a nice person. She cares for me, and I know she's only thinking about my safety. My dad really didn't care when he found out I was a furry. Now, it took my mom. I think she's still not into it because she thinks it's a more of a sexual thing. It's a kink or whatever. Which I hate hearing people say that. And I'm pretty sure everybody in the fandom hates hearing people say that it's just for the sex. If you got to know the fandom more, you would probably want to leave, but then you'd also want to kind of meet certain people, and be nice to them. There's some people who are kind of like, generous and stuff like that and caring in the fandom, and then there's people that are dicks if you go to the wrong areas. I mean, Jason FX, I'm gonna hit on him again because, that guy toxic as fuck. He actually left the fandom, I think, I want to say a few weeks back, and so did him and his girlfriend, which, when he left the fandom, everybody was roasting this guy in the fandom because I ended up flaming the guy because he's like, oh my god, these guys are, they finally left the fandom. Thank God, now the fandom can be peaceful. Yeah, I agree with that. Jason FX was a very, very toxic dude. I'm talking, he was a cheapskate, he ripped people off, he basically just went in on people when it didn't need to be that way. But another thing I'm gonna say is, okay, let's hit on another thing. I'm gonna get off the whole Jason effects because I met him once. I was in his Discord server for, I think, it would have been a year or so now. No, I think it was a couple of months, or some months. And God forgive me for being in a server, but I did meet a couple of people on there that were nice. But Jason was also kind of gave off a dick vibe, which a lot of people warned me of that, but I didn't listen because I was an idiot and I liked his work, which I don't like it now looking back at it. Let me see. Another thing I want to say about the fandom is I grew up, it was one of the fandoms that I was welcomed in and not treated like garbo. While I've had fandoms where I've gone into it and just have said hi to people and nobody responded, the furry fandom welcomed me in and was just like, hey, you seem like a nice person, hi, hello, stuff like that. But I'm not gonna say that I wasn't, treated more poorly than nicely. I'm not gonna say I was treated more nicely than poorly. I kind of was neutralized, well, not destroyed, but I was kind of in the neutral zone where I was kind of treated nicely and treated poorly. I've met some really nice people and I've met some mean people, but that's neither here nor there. But again, I don't know. It's nice to meet you, but yeah. That being said, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out the other video. I think my first news story will be the Kiro thing. I will get in on the information, learn about how it happened, what happened, who was, you know, how did it happen, why did it happen, you know, what was the information about it, and I'll try to see it from both sides. About the Kira thing, because that's what you gotta do as a journalist. You gotta be able to see it from both sides instead of being biased. And I'll try to see it from a non-fandom point of view to also a fandom point of view. With that being said, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the video. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social medias at DeadlyTracker. You also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at I think it's james.m.capco or jamescapco. Also, don't forget to follow me on the Amino app, which I think is James Capco, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Goodbye.